Hello, everyone. My name is Jana Rodic, and I'm a partner and founder of Live Studio. Basically, we are a cross-media creative agency, currently based in Belgrade, and from 2014 also in London. We work at the intersection of physical and digital to expose opportunities brought by emerging media. We are not a technology firm. We use technology to create solutions that engage and move people. We are providing custom creative and software solutions to clients from across broad spectrum of industries, from marketing and advertising to public institutions and also cultural sector. Today, I would like to present our Techcooltour project. It is an augmented reality platform for promoting ancient cultural heritage in Europe. And a few words on the project background. It is a project financed by the EU Commission through its Cultural Roots program, within a call for innovation in cultural tourism. The Cultural Roots is an EU initiative that represents a sort of evolution of academic travels taken by the scholars in Middle Ages or the bourgeois in the 18th century. And the idea is to learn about Europe through its memories and memorabilia. Basically, by visiting monuments and artifacts, people need to visit certain monuments and artifacts in order to gain understanding of European culture. So cultural routes are linked places across different countries with a common cultural theme. The Techcooltour promotes ancient cultural heritage through Roman and Byzantine cultural routes, and it is developed in cooperation with 12 partners, and there are 4 participating countries, and promotes, as I said, Roman and Byzantine cultural heritage in Italy, Slovenia, Croatia, and Serbia, and we are particularly focusing on remote locations or archaeological locations where little is visible. And the aim is of the whole project is to present and communicate the advantages augmented reality introduces and virtual archaeology introduces in presentation and communication of findings. So Techcooltour is, I'd say, a sort of a cross-media platform that brings together mobile, web, and print, with the aim, as I said, offering innovative and engaging experiences at archaeological locations and cultural heritage sites. We basically wanted to have this contemporary ICT approach visible from the start. So using processing, we developed a dynamic visual identity, which is on one hand inspired by the symbol of knot. It's a commonly found symbol on Byzantine mosaics, but mathematically, knot is also a symbol for link. And using processing, we have multiple, let's say, alternations of this symbol, but which always stays recognizable. So, as I said, it brings traditional media used at archaeological sites and museums, such as INFOBOARDS, and within these 2 routes, there are 40 archaeological locations, and 12 of them are marked with these interactive INFOBOARDS. Their design is inspired by map pins, but what also makes them interesting is that these INFOBOARDS are not always placed at the archaeological locations themselves. We use locations that are popular nearby in order to, let's say, engage wider audience and engage audience that do not consider themselves as museum goers. So we would have these INFOBOARDS presenting archaeological sites positioned at airports, bus stops. For example, in Veneto, in Venice, the location that is like just a mile from one of the most popular shopping malls, we had the INFOBOARD at the shopping mall. And the idea was to present to the shoppers somebody that is not usually interested in archaeology as something interesting and new. So this is just an overview of a few of those INFOBOARDS, and this is a mobile application. It is available for both iOS and Android. It uses geolocation sensor and AR to overview information on archaeological sites over camera live view. An interesting feature here is that the location overlays. When we are using geolocation information, we are usually overlaying only the locations that are nearby the user's position. Here, in addition to the locations nearby, you can also see locations belonging to one of those routes that are a few hundred kilometers away. What we wanted to achieve with this is to provide a wider context for each monument in order to be fully appreciated. So for example, if you're in Italy, in Aquileia, and you have the information about the nearby Italian sites that have definitely more visibility than the sites in Croatia or Serbia, we are giving like a very visual connection of those locations because they're one next to each other over the immediate surrounding of the user. All sites are also available in the list view. They're available on map. Clicking on them, you have additional information. this is just a picture taken in one of the cities promoted. And back to the interactive info boards. When board is viewed with a smartphone, it triggers additional virtual information such as 3D reconstructions, virtual guides, and the 12 locations with info boards are, and the augmented reality virtual overlays are specifically chosen to address the disadvantages or the problems of each of the locations presented. So this is an info board presenting location in Serbia. It is positioned at Belgrade and presenting location some 300 kilometers away. And when you point your phone at the board, you have the little virtual character appears telling the story of the imperial palace of Felix Romuliana. The next one is in the info board, for example, in Tersatica. It is positioned in today's town of Rijeka under one of the main city squares. Underneath the streets, there are important archaeological findings that were found during some plumbing work a few decades ago, but they were buried again because they didn't know how to preserve them. And by pointing the phone, people can have some sort of a digital excavation where by swiping the phone screen, they can discover mosaic and other artifacts. Another example that I have here is the Fondo Kosar in Aquileia. It's an ancient site where little can be visually appreciated today, but using the mobile phone, you can start a virtual tour. The website, in the same way, symbolically presents the use of augmented reality because you can scroll the little phone and uncover new information, and also the print material that we have developed through the project, it's also triggering 3D models of the representing sites within the road. Just a few words about the challenges of the project. We had, as I said, 12 partners, different institutions, different data, different materials that we could use, and we had to put them all together. And I would say also that what is important about this project is that museums and institutions have a lot of data, and augmented reality and putting those data on the mobile phone can be a new way to use already existing data in an interesting and new way. Thank you.
Oh, wow.